Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name's Jim. Happy to have you ride along. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. Once you've landed on our webpage, there are links where you can hear our podcast, a link to our Boomers General Store where you can buy things Baby Boomer Tales inspired, pictures of that great country I talk about in north central Colorado, Rocky Mountains, and northeast Kansas.
Jim, are you really going to talk about things you don't like?
Yes, Gitta, I am going to talk about things that I don't particularly care about.
Why?
That's a good question, Gitta, but I had to come up with something today, and this is that. Let me get started here. The title of today's episode is These Are a Few of My Least Favorite Things. Number 1, scam calls. You know, you get a call, they're trying to scam you out of something, sign you up for something, get you to say yes or something, so they can basically run your life, run your finances. It's a pretty tough world out there. Well, my phone's set to block everything that's not on my contacts list. And that works out real good for me unless it's somebody that needs to get a hold of me that I don't have on my contact list. But I do have a philosophy on this. Leave a message, and if you're on the up and up, I will get back with you. I check all my voicemails, and some of them are scam calls. They are. You can tell. You have to be very, very careful with all of that anymore. With your Facebook, with your texts, with instant messages, and telephone calls. So just take it very, very seriously here and understand that if someone calls you, do yourself a favor, hang up and call that person back. They're on the up and up, like say it's your bank, and they want you to verify your account number and stuff. Don't do it. Call the bank and see if they actually were trying to get a hold of you for something. And they probably won't ask you for your account number. Please, it's a dangerous world out there. And I hate scam calls. I hate them. Number 2, customer service. You know, you're having problems with your internet provider or your television provider or your gas bill or something like that. Chances are, if you're in the United States, you call customer service, it's there on your bill or your webpage and all that, you'll get somebody from a third world country. And their accents are usually pretty heavy. And for me, that's really hard. Now, I'm not saying that these people aren't working hard and doing their best, but it is very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Anyway, what about my bank? My bank customer service has gone just totally down the toilet. I try to change a $100 bill into 520s, and they have to make sure I have a bank account and what's my account number and all that stuff. I ordered checks the other day. I use 6 checks a year, something like that. But we had to write a couple of them for grandkids' birthdays. And I ran out of checks, or I had one left, so I just called the girl I always call at my bank and say, I need more checks, please. They go, okay. And they don't cost me anything. And it comes with the next number. Well, I tried it this time. I couldn't get a hold of her. I left her a message. And she kind of left me a snarky message saying, well, you could have told me some particulars about it. It was the same girl that's worked with me forever. I finally got to talk to her. And what she sent me was checks starting with 001. I told her the check number was like 18,042 or something like that. And they were not duplicate checks, which I had always, and these weren't. And the last thing was they charged me $24. $24 for 2 little books of checks that I cannot use. So I became very angry, and I was going to go down and tell them about it. My wife talked me out of it, so I just eat the $24 and buy my checks online from somebody I don't know for $5. That's customer service for this bank that I have been with for 35 years. They don't even know me anymore. Now, granted, I used to go there all the time in business, and they all knew me, maybe too well. But now, even the people that I knew for years and years don't want to even go out of their way a little bit and do something correctly. Just correctly, that's all I ask. I won't even get into retail stores and stuff. Now, I don't go to enough of those to really care. Next thing, I do not like eggplant, tofu, or canned veggies. Don't know why I don't like eggplant. I'm sure I had it once when I was younger and it caused something in me, but it just gags me thinking about it. Tofu, that's like eating, I don't know, sponge rubber. Who wants that? And canned veggies, unless it's corn, I can't stomach it. I just can't get it down. Sorry. Number 4, the big enemies out here where I live. Wasps, muskrats, moles, bunnies, or you might call them rabbits, and poison ivy. Wasps are little juvenile delinquents that'll sting you for no reason at all. Muskrats will tear up your pond. Moles will tear up your yard. Bunnies will eat all the wife's flowers. And poison ivy, well, you don't want to get that stuff. Now, I do a pretty good job of controlling all of that. I do. The muskrats were a big problem years ago. You could see them swimming around. They dig into your dam and into the side of the pond and cause overall mess. But what I have done is I have eliminated the invasive weeds growing in the pond and all the grasses growing in the pond. And the muskrats have skedaddled. I have not seen a muskrat in my pond for years. But I'm always on the lookout. Poison ivy, you don't want that stuff. You don't. And if for anybody that thinks that a bunny is cute, you never try to grow a flower outside. They are probably the most destructive creature there is when it comes right down to it. Another thing, number 5, I can't believe almost anything I hear, read, or see. Used to be if you saw a video or saw somebody being interviewed or heard them even on the radio, if you see them do it, seeing is believing. Remember that old saying? Well, no more. Not with all this AI stuff. So you can't believe anything you hear, read, or see. So is all lost? No. Truth will always find its way. But you need to trust somebody and something. But don't believe everything you see or read or hear. I don't like the division that social media can create. Sometimes some of my friends post something that just makes me want to scream at them. And if we were talking one-on-one together, we would have a logical conversation, ideas back and forth. And social media does not help that. It comes against that and causes division. It's really not a good, healthy thing at all. I really don't like feeling that way towards friends of mine. When I get so irate by something that they say that's usually not very nice about a thing or a person or an event or something that I believe in, I've learned to snooze them for 30 days, then I calm down. And the last one is when the wife and I fuss. It's the worst feeling in the world. We experienced that yesterday for untold reasons, and for hours we didn't speak to each other. And then when we did, it was a little bit of higher voices and some tears, and then it was over. And you wonder why you have to go through that once in a while. When I was younger, I thought it was just a way of growing, but we're older now, and you would think, we haven't experienced that for a very, very long time. But she's my sweetie, and I love her very much. And today everything's fine. Let's fast forward. Let's reverse. Now I want to tell you a few of my favorite things. And I'll go right through these that were my least favorite things. My phone does many, many things. I get to text my children. I texted both of them yesterday, and they told me how much they love me, and I told them how much I love them, and I miss them. When I think about it, how much we are prisoners of phones, it also is a wonderful, wonderful tool. Customer service. I love to go into a store, and usually with an older person, but not always, and ask for help, and they go out of their way to help me. And usually I leave that place very satisfied that my needs were met. Not always. Eggplant, tofu, and canned veggies. Yeah, you'll never convince me to eat those. But I went to a steakhouse yesterday, and it was a delicious steak. And I had some broccoli, and their salad was good, but the steak was cooked perfectly. I only like 3 different kinds of restaurants, basically. Wings, barbecue, and steak. And steak, I usually only go to a steakhouse in the wintertime when I'm not grilling. But yesterday was a special day, and we did go with one of my daughters. I know I don't like wasps and muskrats and poison ivy and all that stuff. But yesterday I saw a baby deer. Well, I guess he was still considered a fawn, but he was by himself, and he's about half grown. You see that out here. I don't know if they become weaned and they leave mama for a while or what. They're so pretty. And I know a deer can be destructive also, but usually we see them back by our pond and stuff, and they're beautiful sights. And this guy was right by my backyard, trying to find his way in life. Yesterday, though, besides the deer, down by the pond there's a big bird drinking water, and I couldn't figure out what it was till he kind of turned around, and it was a turkey. Very seldom I see wild turkeys by themselves. They're usually with a bunch of others. And this guy was all by himself, strutted off to the south and the east. Those things make life worth living out here. That's a fact. Even though you can't believe everything you hear, read, or see, friendship with friends that you hold dear in your heart and respect is a God-given gift. Do not take a friendship lightly. And social media might divide us in so many ways, but it also brings us together. I am in touch with people that without social media, I would never ever see them or hear from them again because of time and distance. And it's a wonderful tool for that. There are just so many people that are back in my life because of social media. And I thank God for that. I do. I wouldn't have seen some of these people, known what they're up to. Or no, I had a friend that he had kind of disappeared from social media. And I found out that he had passed away last November. I had to do a little digging on social media, and I found that out. And then my wife and I fussing, When it comes to the whole scope of things, how much time we spend together, and all we do together, and all we share together and experience together, that time of fussing is just a blink. It really is. It's just a blink of our lives together. How 2 became 1. Actually 3 became 1. Because we live in a Christian home. Well, that's about it this week. These are a few of my favorite things. I don't care what the title says. Always be kind. It's taking the high road. It really is. I'll be back next Wednesday. Peace out.